and hopefully get that early lead. Now, obviously, maybe setting up for a bait into a Xerath pick, trying to maybe think FM think that they want to pick Xerath, or then FM pick Xerath first pick. But like we said, Chriso had a brilliant performance on Xerath across both semi-final games. They have the option to first pick it unless it's banned away by choke here. And eventually, I think we'll see the last ban come out. First pick has been Nah, and it was Xerath that has just come through. So they've said, right, we're going to ban LeBlanc and Xerath. Xerath is down. We don't want that on the board at all. If DX can't have it, neither can Chriso.
Yeah, and I think Pantheon banned as well. They don't want Lasagna on that early game pressure as well. Xerath was the last ban. Nar picked up though, so Nar for Tundra, we saw how effective he was with it yesterday. It's a very, very strong pick right now.
In the semi-final, Tundra was a massive force on this Nar. He didn't particularly get fed himself, but the effect he had in team fights was fantastic. A lot of times you saw him delay things out for his team to collapse. He had some brilliant ultimates to set up a lot of other kills in the team fight, and he was just doing what Tundra does best, which is just farm his way into a really big gold advantage in the top lane, and then just be a force in team fights. Not flashy in a 1v1 situation, but just be that really, really dependent top lane. He's got such an impact on FM's team fights, and you'll see he probably have a similar type of workaround with this now.
Yeah, exactly. He got ahead in his last game. What team weren't exactly with him on that one, so they fell back. So as you say, he was dependable, but his team didn't have the damage to follow up on that. We do see Choke picking up the Orianna and Lucian. I like the Orianna pick, very safe mid laner, and obviously Lucian, king of the ADCs in this patch.
We haven't seen much Orianna in this live finals at all. This could potentially be the first Orianna game.
I think you're right, actually.
I think it potentially is the first Orianna game we're seeing here. And Lucian again coming up for Chewed Up, so he's not going to want to go for that. Corki this time round is going to pick up the Lucian instead. Again, Tundra's Gnar will fill a similar role to Mundo that he had previously, but will have way more of an impact. Now, Mundo is great at being this big, tanky frontline, can get damage down. He obviously has a lot of damage with the use of his masochism, and obviously his infected cleavers are always great too. But Tundra a little bit more frontline, direct impact with the CC that he provides, and has a lot of damage. His base damages are really good in Mega Gnar form, so can always, even if he does choose to go full tank, have that potential to have the same kind of impact.
Yeah, we see Jarvan and Syndra being locked in for FM. Two exceptionally strong picks. Chriso on Syndra, nice lane bully. And interesting enough with the Jarvan, I haven't seen a huge amount of it, but he's still a very, very strong jungler.
We've seen a couple of Jarvans, but obviously he hasn't been over the board. We've mainly been seeing Pantheons and Lees, but Jarvan coming out here, really being picked up for the engage. There's a big follow-up here for either Tundra to go in and get his Mega Gnar ultimate into the wall of the Cataclysm, or Dan then engage and have Tundra follow up, or Dan follow up Tundra's engage. There's so many ways they can work this around. They've got a very big, heavy engage team here, and then you've got the Syndra on top of that to provide the follow-up herself with the form of Scatter the Weak. There's even a good set of semi-pick composition here. If you get a Scatter the Weak into Tundra, into Jarvan, it's a lot of chain CC right there. And, you know, it's going to be a dead person on Choke. There's a very aggressive team. They're really transmitting what they want to do with their team comp right now.
Yeah, and taking away the Jarvan means that they aren't going to get, you know, kind of that Orianna Jarvan ball delivery system that they probably might have gone with, but we see Rumble and Soraka being locked in, so that's going to be Rumble for Numlocked and a Zodiac on Soraka. Rumble, pretty decent against Gnar, but it's pretty even. I haven't seen the matchup now too often.
Yeah, now, Numlocked, you've seen his player cards across this tournament. Rumble is on there as his top 3 champions. I don't actually think Numlocked has strayed from these 3 top champions. I've seen him a lot on Yorick, a lot on Alchemist, a lot on Rumble, and a lot on Gnar as well. But he is a very good Rumble. This guy, you know, we've talked about Numlocked being a really great top lane presence. He's fairly new to the league scene as well, not been around as long as some of the other guys, and he's just exploded with pure raw skill, and he's so good in that top lane. You'll see on his Rumble, his equalizers are usually fantastic. And what I'm really interested here, Zodiac again going for something more of a little bit more unusual than what we're tended to see from these sort of top tier supports, but Soraka coming out here.
Yeah, exactly. We see now Samwise and Billy Fufu picking up the Ezreal and Sona. Good poke and burst coming out from those two. Maybe a Xin Zhao, though, for the last pick on the Choke would fit their comp a little bit, but I'm feeling like, you know, they are looking for team fights more than anything.
Lasagna's Xin Zhao is something that he played loads during group stages. Xin Zhao and Lasagna, they just went together like jam and bread. These guys are so good together. He's really fantastic and knows how to put down that early game pressure, but still remain a threat into the late game. We've seen multiple builds come out from him as well. He goes for that, either goes very tanky through the Juggernaut, but we've also seen him go for the Devourer into a Ghost Blade, so really looking to get a lot of burst and early game damage down. It's really good. Billy again on that Sona, so the second game in a row for him. Everyone has talked about it's one of his best champions. We've heard it a lot from the analyst desk, got a lot from Stress and Pulse. They've just said, he loves to be aggressive with those crescendos, and generally with the, he tends to have really good crescendos. We've seen a couple of whiffs here and there, but on the whole, you could really rely on Billy to have a great game on Sona. And he obviously has that kill participation stat that is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have the teams now locked in and ready to go. That will be a Xin Zhao for Lasagna, as you said. Incredibly comfortable on that champion. Very, very strong with it. And realistically, though, like, the bot lane, he knew, as we bring it back in the Sona, he picked it before the Veigar was picked. So obviously he was a little bit cheese, but he knew that the Soraka was coming in. Which one kind of wins out that battle?
Interesting one there. I mean, obviously you've got a semi sort of poke coming out from Soraka. She's a little bit less poke heavy than Sona. You've got to really make sure you're hitting those Starkles in the best possible place. You do get a little bit more damage in the center, obviously, and get the slow as well. But she's got a little bit more team fight control with the silence. You've got a bit of an AoE silence that she provides, and if you're in there for longer and when it expires, you get that snare too. So that actually provides a zonal teamfight control in itself. We are going to get through into game fairly shortly. Getting onto the Rift, these guys, the second game between Choke and FM. Choke taking the first game in a dominating fashion. Can FM bounce back here?
Yeah, and I think FM would be the team you would bet your money on to try and bounce back. Choke obviously exceptionally strong in this tournament throughout. Every single tournament they've been in, they've, either been top 2 or top 3. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not 100%. But FM, they're going to have to bring out something. They're going to have to be a little bit more risk-taking. And I feel like the Gnar and the Jarvan, the kind of combo synergy they have with them, with the Cataclysm and the Gnar Ultimate, should help them make a few more plays. But you can't really knock out the Lucy or the Orianna, two exceptionally safe mid and ADCs.
I mean, you've got a very reliable ball delivery system in the sense that if Lasagna can get close enough for the audacious charge, he has a pinpoint positioning for where he wants the ball to be delivered to. But Alchemist is great at doing it himself too. Alchemist in general is a fantastic mid lane. His mid lane champion repertoire is fantastic. The guy has shown his prowess on probably his best champion, the Xerath, and now coming through on an Orianna, looking to make a similar kind of impact, big team-wide impact in these team fights. Numlocked again, we've talked about his Rumble. He's going to be looking to synergize there too, get the equalizer down, make sure he's getting a lot of early pressure down as soon as he can. Often we see Numlocked go straight for that Liandry's, looks to go straight for the burn. It seems to be like a very popular way of building Rumble right now. You can often go for the magic penetration, then go for a bit more flat AP, finishing up the Liandry's later. We've seen Numlocked often does tend to go for the Liandry's very early on. And then also we've got Chewed Up and Zodiac on a Lucian Soraka bot lane, going up against Samwise and Billy. Now we know Ezreal's made a bit of a comeback in this patch. He's building, going towards that blue build again. I mean, are you expecting to see that coming up?
I would expect the blue build. It's probably the strongest one that you can guarantee towards Ezreal, towards that late game. And it's something that we see quite a bit now. Actually, I've seen it quite a bit in... I've seen Ezreal mid actually quite a bit during the NA expansion tournament, where it's just kind of a thing that you just bring out. You get the extra, kind of tower pushing potential. It's a good limit poke, good early game aggression as well. And realistically, just looking at these two teams, both will be kind of looking for, those early game dragon fights as well. They won't want a team fight.
Yeah, we just had a quick pause, guys, but it is getting back into the game just now. There's a couple of issues with the TeamSpeak server, but Chriso on the Syndra, I believe this is the first time we've seen him play at this tournament, and actually I think it was banned out quite frequently against him. So we're going to see him on a champion that is just so fantastic for him, and he's going to be looking to be aggressive, make sure he can make picks off, really look to start to dominate the team fights. Now, are we going to see FM play like they played yesterday? They get the picks, get the objectives, make sure they're making meaningful engages, not just engages for the sake of it.
Yeah, and a lot of emphasis going to be on Chriso, where he puts his ultimate. Does he put it onto a DX Alchemist or Chewed Up? And you've got to feel that with Orianna, with the command protect, she's got a lot of kind of survivability realistically. So Chewed Up probably going to be the target for those ultimates, and going to be pretty standard starts though. Everyone just covering their buffs. Yeah,
very defensive starts here. No lane swap coming out either. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Obviously, Rumble, not the most fantastic lane swap champion, does really suffer. Being a melee caster mage, a little bit harder for you to CS as it is. Most Rumble players will tell you you have to get very practiced before you can effectively start to CS at equal levels to those who have a little bit more reliable auto-attack animations and things. So, but Numlocked, he's a brilliant Rumble player. Going to have to back, I think, very quickly as Tundra look to get a bit of early pressure down there with the Boomerang Blade. Tundra not happy to let him have it though, making sure he's being a bit of an annoyance at the same time.
Yeah, and Tundra, I really feel there's a lot of onus on him as well to make sure that he. I'm pretty sure he wasn't supposed to throw it that way.
Oh, that was sneaky from Tundra right there.
Very sneaky. Got the double hit there, but I do apologize, Tundra. I'm never going to question you again. But again, there's a lot of kind of responsibility on Tundra now to make sure that this Rumble doesn't get going, because if he does, if he gets that early Leandries, gets that early Zhonya's or mid-game Zhonya's, it's going to be an absolute hell for FM.
Well, Rumble just has these really big mid-game impacting teamfight presence. He's got that small amount of AP, that small amount of magic penetration, and suddenly he is chunking your team with a really great equalizer. And again, we know Numlocked is really fantastic at placing those equalizers. He never usually fluffs them. They're always impactful. So again, Tundra does have a bit of a job. Kind of goes against what we usually expect from Tundra. Everyone is sort of harped on that he's a very big farm heavy top laner, gets a lot of gold through just being so fantastically good at CSing. I reckon he will look to put a bit of pressure down with Gnar. However, obviously Numlocked, he knows his limitations on Rumble. He knows he's going to have to play it safe in some senses. He's going to know his power spikes and make sure he's utilizing those too. And obviously we haven't even looked at the junglers. Both of them have high early pressure. Jarvan, a little bit more simple to get his ganks off, has a little bit higher range to get the ganks off with the flag and drag combo. Obviously a little bit more easy to get the CC down. You're going to have to do more positioning when you come through with Lasagna. He has to be coming around the back, or at least catching people unaware through lack of vision before he can really look to get early pressure down.
Yeah, we're just going to see pretty much standard starts, no one doing anything too crazy. It was a Krug start for the bot lane of FM. We're going to see now exactly. And Tundra putting down a little bit of early pressure. Numlocked on Rumble, not the greatest at CSing a turret.
Well, like you said, it's very difficult early on. Oh, Lasagna.
He's going to go in. Scout of the Week didn't quite get the combo off. He actually might have been able to get a bit more damage on top of Lasagna. Maybe have to save this ward. Actually, Lasagna really wanted it. Going to be able to get away pretty damn easily.
Not too bad. A little bit of early pressure, nothing burnt though, and not a lot of damage put down. It's just delaying Lasagna's jungle ever so slightly. He took a bit of damage, so he's going to have to back off now. Obviously, Dan not able to react to that immediately. Could have potentially looked to make a move on the blue buff, and I think that is exactly what Zodiac's going to do to make sure there's a bit of a vision down there, or at least checking that no one has gone for it. Dan now looks like he's heading towards there, but Lasagna is on his way.
Yeah, Lasagna's on his way. Pops a ward down. You don't think he really wants to go for it just yet unless he has 100% positioning on it. He's just going to get that river scuttlebug to make sure that they have perfect vision. There's no level 2 or level 3 gank on bot lane. Finds out Lasagna, good ward.
Yeah, he's going to ping it out. He has got his smite available. He can potentially, or smite available when it becomes relevant. He could potentially look to go for a steal, or even get a lot of pressure onto Lasagna. It's going to be a bit late though, Lasagna. Ooh, not sure he meant to flag and drag, or just slightly mistimed that there, as Dan is going to be caught backing out of the jungle there. Again, it's been fairly quiet ever so often. Chewed Up and Zodiac doing a good job of putting a bit of harass down to Billy, but he will just sustain that up as Sonas do. Obviously, it's a little bit more hazardous for Zodiac to provide the sustain to Chewed Up. You're going to have to give 10% of your life every time you go for a heal. Obviously, if he manages to hit people with that Star Call, he will get some health back himself. So it's a bit more of a all-in way of sustaining for Zodiac. Going to have to making sure that he's placing his aggression in the right places and also using his heal effectively.
Yeah, the kind of management of his heals and healing, I should say, as you say with the Star Calls, is going to be pretty big. See Chewed Up getting aggressed on there by Samwise, nothing too crazy. But again, you can feel how tense this start of the game is. No one wants to make a mistake.
Zodiac will be, I mean, I'm looking forward to it when, big ganks coming with the crescendo. If Zodiac can place his silence in the right position, it's going to give slight delays into when Billy can look to use that crescendo, because obviously when you tend to use crescendo, you're using it in a clutch situation. You're using it in the sense you're trying to catch people off guard. An immediate reaction with silence when they're looking to move for that position could give Chewed Up and Zodiac that extra little bit of time to position so that crescendo won't be as impactful.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see so many flash crescendos, but if you put the silence down right where they're expecting to flash to, they can't use the crescendo, and it kind of, as you say, loses the impact of that engage. So there'll be a lot of onus on Zodiac to keep Chewed Up alive, but again, still pretty standard starts. No one doing anything too crazy, and I feel like everyone's just really just don't want to make a mistake, and now we see Lasagna doing a little bit of counter jungling.
Yeah, actually, he's moving up, trying to catch Dan out. Actually, going to have to potentially go for a counter gank in the top lane here. Will get spotted out, I believe, by the Rift Splatter on the edge. May have just avoided the vision area as he's looking to move up towards the top lane. This is going to be a 2-on-2, though, Blood Penguin. Power Spike for Numlocked. He is level 6, but doesn't have that overheat, and he's there now.
Oh, here we go now. Flag and drag user jumping straight onto Numlock. There's first blood. They're going to try turn their aggression to Lasagna. He's forced to flash away as Tundra hits Mega Gnar form. And that's going to be a very, very nice gank there for FM. Good poke as well down to Lasagna. They may feel like they might want to dive this. They haven't got the flag and drag combo just yet.
His ultimate.
He hasn't got his ultimate, but he's just turning it around to see if he can try and keep it. Lasagna should be pretty safe. Dan is going to keep it, stay away.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were looking to use Tundra's Gnar ultimate to go for the gank, but I think a little bit of communication said no. Let's just back away. A little bit too risky here. We've got ourselves ahead in this lane. Let's not push it too far. Wise decision from Tundra. Also, again, he is out CSing like we did expect on Numlock and has got the advantage with that first blood, immediately going for an aggressive build for Tundra. Often we do tend to see him going for that straight tank, but he wants to look to shut down Numlock. Like you were saying, picked up that Hex Drinker. He's going to give him that magic resist. Going to have a little bit extra AD to put some pressure down onto Numlock to make sure he doesn't get ahead right now.
Yeah, a lot again. Gnar doing exactly what he needs to do. We see a small engage now. Ignite drop down to the chewed up. Here comes the
teleport.
TP. Here comes Dan as well. There goes the flag and drag. It's going to force the flash off chewed up as well. Flash is coming out. Heal as well. They're going to be able to take chewed up. Dan going to be able to pick up that kill. Very, very nicely done there by FM, and they're really starting to
easy rotation for Dragon here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Easy rotation round for Dragon, and obviously now they've lost a little bit of pressure because chewed up is down. They're not going to have that ranged AD to have the ability to put the ranged harass down on Dragon. This is going to be something that's going to be particularly hard to contest, and I think Alchemist is not even going to be in the position to get his shockwave down too. This is going to be easily taken out as Lasagna gets the steal.
Oh, nicely done there. He sacrifices his life. Zodiac trying to come in. The flash, they jump into good scatter the weak at max range. Zodiac will go down as well. They are eventually going to get that kill over to Chriso, but great steal there by Lasagna. Gets the Dragon. They'll take that, I think.
I was not expecting that steal from Lasagna right there. I thought going a little bit of suicide mission, maybe looking to get a shockwave off, but no, straight in with the smite steal, and that kind of starts to level things out for Choke. They're a bit behind in terms of global gold, but they have got that very important first Dragon buff down right now. They do have the timers on both sides, so FM will be in a position to contest. As if they can continue to snowball their lead in terms of kills and lane ganks and things that have been working out for them, they'll be in a better position to take that one straight up. Hopefully look to get damage down onto Lasagna, look to even kill Lasagna, so they won't have that potential to have again.
Yeah, and even then, like, it looks like Choke were just making the decision to trade the Dragon for the top tower, but they got both, so they'll be extremely happy with that trade, only losing 2 kills for that. We see early boots and mobilities there on top of Dan's Jarvan, so he's looking to make more plays, to be in position to be able to make more moves. But again, as you say, they may just try to go for the kills.
We saw it last game. Dan loves to get this early mobility, loves to affect the lanes, and he has been doing so far. Lasagna looking to put a bit more potential on his farming. You're seeing he's going for the Devourer. He's already got a 10 CS lead over Dan. Maybe looking to be more of an impact into that mid game, get a bit more damage, maybe even go this Devourer Ghostblade build that we've seen him before, because he actually does a significant amount of damage and really becomes a semi sort of assassin from the jungle, and then looks to build into a tanky side of things. But 3 longswords rather picked up for Dan. He's not too far behind in terms of going towards his jungle item build at this point. So Lasagna's got to step it up, got to start farming, either got to make an impact and make that decision between looking to make a lot of impact in lanes or looking to just continue to farm, get that Devourer starting to stack.
Yeah, and Lasagna, he's on a very, very early game jungler, but we haven't seen him make any amazing plays apart from that Dragon steal where he gladly sacrificed himself for the greater good of his team, get that stack. But I feel like he needs to be very, very careful because Jarvan, I feel, just brings so much more utility to the FM team than Lasagna would on Xin Zhao.
Well, he's got that 2-0-2. He's got a lot of damage behind him now, and we know that Jarvan is essentially there in most cases for that really ridiculously reliable engage, and a lot of damage that comes out from it too.
Yeah, here we go, flag and drag you. Zodiac is the focus. There's a good crescendo onto chewed up. Forces the flash though from Samwise, and he's going to use the Cataclysm. Nice dash out of it though, and it's going to be Billy Fufu picking up the kill there with the Q. As we see Chriso and Alchemist meeting up again, a great gank by Dan.
Dan really putting the early pressure on here, just making Lasagna look like he's almost absent in this game, and Dan just being in the right place at the right time, exploiting the vision control that they've got, and just rotating around these areas that he can get in for these ganks into the lanes. And right now, Choke are just looking to start to struggle. They're 2k gold at this point. They've got that first Dragon buff, but they need to start to do something to get themselves back in the lead, because right now, the bot lane is where everything has been happening, and it's all been going in favor of FM.
Yeah, and if you look at the kills as well on FM, they're very, very nicely spread out. 100% kill participation on Dan, considering how active he has been for his team. But again, 103, 204, 104 for both ADC and support on FM. Great, kind of team synergy, and you feel like this is exactly what they needed to do. They just needed to brush off the last game and just come back with this with a completely new style, and they've done exactly what they needed.
Yeah, they just needed to wipe the slate clean, and they have. They've come out with a fantastically aggressive start, looking to put the pressure on Choke early. Now, we do know Choke are pretty good at playing from behind. In the when they won I-53, which is one of the events in the UK, they played from behind in a lot of their games, especially against FTW, a Portuguese team. And they actually came back fairly well. And a lot of it was because DX had the potential to make very good late game plays in the team fight situations. He was playing Vigar a lot of these times, but Orianna has the same ability to make these kind of catches with a good shockwave. And, a really well-placed shockwave on Orianna, who is not too far behind, can still have masses of impact, even if your team do lack that little bit of gold across the board.
Yeah, we see now DX Alchemist forced to go off to raids. He can't really go too far in this lane, as you say, with Dan just being so active. Again, there's going to be more and more pressure. Dragon up in a minute and a half, so I don't expect any of these top laners to use their teleport or try to go back within any of that time. They want to make sure they have that TP so that if the fight breaks out, Numlocked and Tundra, both of them will be huge.
Yeah, exactly. Tundra is in a good position right now as well. He's got still maintaining the similar to the CS lead we saw earlier, so Numlocked not struggling as hard as he has. He's kept it at that same kind of pace, but Tundra's got that damage on the board. He's not gone for the straight tank, so he's going to be a little bit more of a threat than he would potentially have been in these mid-game team fights. Dragon up in a minute. Choke either going to go for this or give it over to FM, but Numlock's going to have to be there either way. He's going to have the real impact. The equalizer is really going to tell if they have the potential to win these team fights.
Yeah, and the positioning of that equalizer is going to be huge. I'd imagine what he will try to do is he will try to wait for Dan to use his Cataclysm, so there's even less space or room for error for his equalizer. But again, you just have to position it so perfectly. And he's actually, I was just looking at that, Tundra's sitting on quite a bit of gold actually, so he needs to kind of go back before this dragon fight becomes relevant, because he needs to spend that, otherwise he's just sitting on kind of wasted gold until he spends it.
Yeah, he's got 1,600 in the bag, 1,700 right now, so he could probably pick up that Giant's belt, maybe look towards some resistances for the fight too. That would make a lot of sense. He needs to start to move towards being a bit more of a front line, because that's essentially where he's going to be for the majority of it. Choke need to look to play this around the Mega Gnar though. They don't want to engage when Tundra has that form in his back pocket, because he will just have a massive impact. The Zodiac!
Yeah, Zodiac gets caught out, flag and drag, Samwise jumps over, they use the wish as well, and the heal. Crescendo misses, but it's going to be enough damage. As we see Lasagna flashing in, it's going to be DX Ultimus using the command attack to take that kill. They should be able to get away with Billy Fufu trying to turn this around. Shoot Up needs to be very careful. It's going to be a double kill though, going over to Alchemist, and you would imagine that has to be the Dragon. There's
still room to contest here, but it's a little bit more difficult now you've lost two big parts of your team. The Crescendo won't be there from Billy Fufu, and Samwise, who has got a lot of damage on the board with that Manamune, he won't be there either. They're even going to go into Dan with a shockwave.
Oh, Dan gets completely caught out. The ward catches him out. That's going to be any hope of a steal completely gone. That's going to be a second stack going over to Choke, and it's just going to be huge stack for them as we look at the top lane. Hex Drinker popped, nothing too crazy, but Rumble did use the ultimate.
Rumble did use the ultimate, and obviously there's still that Mega Gnar form for the surprise health bonus that you get there. And Tundra, again, has that gold in the bank compared to Numlocked, who doesn't at this point in time. Tundra will probably end up backing fairly soon. There's probably not much reason for him to stick around unless he wants to look for a dive onto Numlocked. I think that could be something that he's looking for.
Yeah, he's looking to see if he can get it. There's the flash. He forces the flash from Numlocked. Does get away, able to bounce away. I don't even know if you can classify that as a bounce with the size of him. But he's going to be able to push this in the tower, get more damage onto it. And as you say, he's got another CS lead. He's got the kill advantage as well. So he's not doing too badly, but his team aren't keeping up with him. They are losing dragons.
That was just a bit nice rotations to that bot lane from both Alchemist and Lasagna. They immediately reacted to the fact that Zodiac had been caught out by Dan, and then reacted with a really great dragon. Again, it was a meaningful reaction, meaningful engage. They picked something from it. They've got that 15% damage to minions and monsters, and it was just really good from them. And they've got their second dragon buff, which means a lot, because now there's that potential to go for the third. And obviously, once you're starting to get towards those areas where one team is picking up all the dragons, it puts more pressure on the other team to react to them too.
Yeah, we see now actually big item finished on the shoot-ups, Lucian. He's got that IE compared to only the mana immune of Samwise's Ezreal, who's going to be building towards that Triforce as well. So again, the kind of semi-blue build where he kind of gets the mana items, gets the big damage things a bit more towards the mid and late game. Going to be thinking, but again, FDM Dan looking for another gank. If you see him on the map, trying to sneak in towards his bot lane. There are no wards. He may get away with this.
Yeah, he may move towards it. They're a little bit pushed up at this point in time, and the wave definitely isn't going anywhere. So if Chewed Up and Zodiac play this okay, they can probably keep it here. Actually, Piercing Light's coming out. They may be looking to push. But like I said, the great thing about Choke having dragon control, mainly because they have all the dragons so far, they will probably have the timer, you know they'll be reacting to it, is they know that FM will be wanting to come and contest with this third dragon. So they know roughly at what time, if they don't have the vision, they'll know roughly at the areas that FM will be in around the dragon spawning, so they can look to either make picks there and get another dragon and set up that kind of wave, because you know that FM will want to react to this third dragon. Oh wow,
here we go. Chewed Up gets caught up. They use the ultimate as well. He has got flash. They're going to try going good crescendo. They're able to burst him down, and Zodiac goes down as well. Sona picked up the kill onto the ADC as we see Tundra going into the top lane. Numlock nearly getting knocked down there. Oh, good Gnar ultimate as well. He may be able to try and trade this. He's just sitting on the Gnar ult, or the Rumble ultimate. He's going to go down eventually, but he does trade a kill, got the tower. Overall, it's going to be 2 turrets going in favor as well for FM.
Again, Dan just putting pressure down on the map. He's been involved in 5 more kills, the majority of them coming from bot lane. Actually, Lasagna not had too much of an impact apart from reactionary plays in the bot lane at this point in time. Dan is putting a lot of pressure, trying to get Samwise ahead, trying to put him into a position where he can carry particularly hard on this Ezreal, because Chriso 1-0-0 hasn't had too much of an impact globally at this point in time, just leaving him that time to farm up. At 178 CS at 17 minutes, that guy almost at 10 CS a minute, you'd call that, well, is over 10 CS a minute. You'd say that's a pretty good farming stretch at this point in time.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's nearly on the point of just, it's been weird because mid has almost been an island at the moment in this game. It's been a lot of emphasis in top lane, a huge amount of emphasis in the bot lane, and it's just all been Dan just basically focusing which ones you want. But you have to be careful of the Orianna Shockwave. If that gets enough damage, if that gets big, lands on the 2 or 3 targets, it could mean absolute despair for everyone on the side of FM as they try to go hard onto Alchemist. I don't know if they'll be able to get it. They force the flash. Not going to be quite, but they should get this tower. Again,
nice reaction and rotations from FM. They're just grouping up as a team, putting pressure down on the laner, and then taking the objective away. Didn't even need to get a kill there because they took Alchemist so low, and there was no one there from Choke to back him up. That's just a nice turret take, and now all of those outer turrets are down. They're starting to get pressure on Choke's side of the map. Expect to see some deep jungle wards coming in at this point in time. They're going to look to extend their vision beyond those areas of the outer turrets, and that will really start to allow them to make picks in that jungle. An easier place for them to make picks and then move on to global objectives like the Dragon. You probably won't see an early Baron at this point in time. You very rarely see 20-minute Barons. They're a little bit harder to pull off because it does a lot more damage at this time. But they have the potential and the options to make more plays inside Choke's jungle now, because there is nothing stopping them apart from wards going into the jungle. Yeah, a lot of emphasis now will be put onto vision, and as you said, that we see a couple of wards being put into the inventories at the top and the jungle, and actually the mid lane has got Orianna, DX Alchemist has picked himself up a pink ward, so that's going to be helping him up. Dragon up in just over a minute. Leandri's Torment just finished up, but it looks like Lasagna looking to try and get a little bit of a gank down the bot lane. Yeah, Numlocked again going for that early Leandris. He does like to do that. Obviously, most Rumbles do find that is potentially the best path to build now, so he's gone for that, looking to burn people down. Again, another gank here. Yeah, another gank comes in. Dan gets silenced up. They're going to turn the turn straight away. Good crescendo though onto Lasagna and Zodiac. Here come the TPs as well. Tundra trying to jump in. Equalizer goes down, but it's only on top of Billy Fufu. They're trying to focus on everyone. Heals are coming out. Tundra's going to be the first one to go down. Everyone on the side of the front line of Choke goes really, really low, but it's not going to be enough for everyone. DX Alchemist a little bit late to the party, but he should be able to secure this. Ooh! Nearly gets him off there. Does force the flash away from Samwise. Did use the ultimate though of the Shockwave. Nothing too crazy there. They should secure this tower. Yeah, they can secure the tower, and they're going to start to put a little bit of pressure on Dragon, but Zodiac will have to back now, otherwise he won't be back in time when Dragon is available. And obviously they're going to have to try and stall it just a little bit further than the respawn timer, because they will really want Alchemist to have that Shockwave up. They're looking to make a pick though, as they probably haven't know that FN don't have enough vision in this area. They're still waiting. Dan trying to get a ward over the side rather than going to the side of area. Chriso though! Oh, Chriso gets caught out. He forces away to flash. It's not going to be enough though. That's a good pick. That's going to go over straight to Numlocked, who's starting to pick up a couple of kills now. He's getting some big gold items onto him.
And ooh, Zodiac!
Oh.
Very, very, very close there. He nearly gets sniped out by the True Shot Barrage, but it's not over yet. Tundra, Dan, and Billy Fufu are sitting off to the side. Dragon has been procced. Lasagna trying to do this one as quickly as he possibly can. Sona and everyone, they're going to be able to secure the Dragon.
Oh, he steals it!
It's going to be a steal by Dan. They get the kill as well. They may be able to turn this around. Here comes Tundra on the tune up. One more auto attack and he gets it, the double kill. He gets Mega Nar form. He's now ultimate. That was possibly the most perfect engage by Tundra. They get the Dragon. They get 3 kills and they may even stay for the blue buff.
The complete turnaround from what we saw previously. They just spent too long. They probably needed to back off on this. There always was the potential for a steal. Shoot Up took a big Dragon hit there, taken very low. Lasagna obviously not tanky at this point, gets burst, and then Tundra has that Mega Now form coming available, and no one has any meaningful cooldowns to burn at this point, and Tundra just cleans house.
DX Alchemist's positioning was incredibly well molded by FM. They pushed him out of the fight. They made sure he wasn't able to protect people. And you saw him, he was so afraid because it was him, 3 people from FM, and then the rest of his team he wasn't able to protect.
He split himself off looking for a position to Shockwave, but Shockwave hadn't yet come available. And then obviously there was a good reaction from FM. They immediately collapsed. It's that hard engage you're talking about from Jarvan, talking about the hard engage from Tundra. They just come straight in and they catch them off guard, and the steal just made it even sweeter.
We're getting an attempt to reconnect sign, so we're not quite sure exactly what's going on. Might be just a slight little drop in the thing, and we're waiting to see exactly how we're getting on. But big fight there in favor of FM. They not only pick up the Dragon, but they pick up 3 very important kills, and that you've got to feel as if, you know, something has to change from Choke's gameplay because they're just being a bit too passive.
Yeah, I think right now Choke, we're not seeing the similar sort of aggressive style that we saw previously. It's because of the pressure that FM are starting to put down on the map, and they're just being so much more aggressive themselves this game. That's really good from both Tundra and Dan, having masses of impact. And I think we're going to hand over to the Analytics fairly soon, once they're ready, to just give you a bit of an insight of what's been happening. But again, it's really, Alchemist hasn't had the potential to have the same impact this game around. He was really impactful on that Xerath last time around, and obviously Samwise was ahead too. That Corki made all the difference, really, when it came to these team fights. And actually, it's really nice focus by FM at this point to focus down Samwise, make sure that he's shut down, and sorry, not focus down Samwise, focus down Chewed Up and make sure that he's ahead, so Samwise starts to get ahead, because Chewed Up was really the masses of impact in these team fights. I think we're going to just go back into game now. I think we have just managed to sort out the issues. Hopefully we haven't missed too much at this point.
We missed a little team fight. There was a huge amount of cooldowns brought, but it did go in favor of Choke 3-2. Samwise though didn't go down, and look at the kill participation right now. He on FM Dan. He has literally missed 1 kill so far for his team. He has been so impactful for them, and you've just got to feel like he's just Jarvan's just a little bit better towards that mid to late game than Jin Zhao. Jin Zhao just falls off just a little bit.
But like we said, he's focused in the right areas too. He's used his time well. Focusing down Chewed Up means he won't get ahead like he did. Chewed Up has really started to struggle. The scoreline couldn't be more different at 2, 5, and 4. However, Numlocked is starting to move his way into an area where he can be a bit more impactful. Obviously, at this point in the game, Rumble does have a big impact with those equalizers. He's got the items that will be building up towards some power spikes. And Alchemist, again, is just moving along steadily. If they can keep him in this position, it's not too bad for Choke Gaming at this point. They definitely aren't out of this. The scoreline has been caught up a little bit. It's 15-9, so it's not looking as dire as it previously would do. As Lasagna and Dan look to go for a bit of a hoedown in that mid lane, but nothing too much coming up here. Tundra reacting.
Tundra is reacting. They're trying to jump onto Lasagna, but it's a 3v2 effectively. They actually force the flash. The equalizer comes down. Ultimate from Ezreal, not to be able to hit. Good culling by Chewed Up, able to keep everyone there. The Talisman of Ascension was popped by Zodiac. They're going to be able to back away from this. I feel like Dan is getting a little bit too antsy right now. He didn't really need to fight that. They should have just traded handbags and went back away, and he ends up getting punished. Yeah,
again, Lasagna and Dan, they did just back away from each other, but the reaction from Alchemist, there is a stun here. This looks like they want to go for it. Crescendo comes down.
Yeah, Crescendo comes down. DX Alchemist got caught up, but nobody followed up on it, but it's going to be Tundra trying to put down some damage. He's going to get Mega Nar from very soon. He gets it now. Gerv throws out a little bit more poke. Nothing too huge. Ultimate was used on the side there onto DX Alchemist. He is very much out of position, and he's going to be chased out by Chris. So actually, Lasagna going to get caught up by using the Nar ultimate from Tundra, but he is caught up between 3 people and a hard place, so it's going to be very difficult for him to try and get out of this. He's a very tanky Nar though. They're going to be able to back away. Nothing too huge ends up happening, but they did stall out taking that mid lane turret.
Yeah, they did stall the mid lane turret from going down. Big thing. They have been denying chokes and much needed global gold to make sure they're catching up at this point. Dragon coming up in a minute. Choke have the potential to go and try and secure this one down, but again, they want to make sure that they're making picks and making a team fight happen where they are going to come out on top and then look to take Dragon. They obviously got a nice pick there, but they still had some big impactful people left on the FM side. If you leave Tundra up and you leave Dan up, especially in an area surrounded by walls like the Dragon Pit, you don't really want to be fighting Na in any situation, especially when Dragon could essentially become your lost team member and do the damage for you.
Exactly now, and the Dragon will be up in just over 45 seconds, and we see the team starting to try and put some vision control down on them as well, get the lanes pushed in their favor. Teleport is available for both top laners, so we might see Tundra goes toward that top lane, but he is down towards the bot, and there is literally zero vision right now for FM around this Dragon Pit. They're only starting to put down wards now, but they need to respect the Rumble ultimate.
They need to respect it, and especially now that needlessly large has been finished, there's going to be a massive surge in damage from that, especially combined with the Leandries. So he's really starting to hit some power spikes for his Rumble, and actually keeping up in CS and Tundra is not something we often see. And Numlocked, especially on Rumble, doing a really good job of that. Choke chewed up himself, hitting a couple of power spikes. He's got that Infinity Edge static shift combo that everyone knows is so powerful. However, you're going up against the Trinity Forge and going towards a Blade of the Ruined King too, coming from Samwise. So Samwise definitely has the edge at this point.
Yeah, and a ball thrown out there by DX Alchemist. He's trying to make sure that they can zone them off enough. Dragon hasn't been started. There's a ward there just to the side. There comes the True Shot Barrage. Puts on a nice little bit of damage. DX Alchemist, you want to be caught up. There's a good crescendo though on the two of the primary targets. There we have everyone fighting now. Cataclysm around 3 people. Flashes burned everywhere. Lasagna and Tundra trying to go on top of it. It's going to be Dan going down first along with Lasagna. Now they need to try and turn this around. Shoot up is completely. He's in such a good position. Numlock flashes in, trying to get some more damage down. It's going to be a fight in favor of Choke. They may try to push this over, but here comes the ultimate there. Numlock nearly goes down. It's going to be one more auto attack. There we go. There's a shutdown. Here comes the complete and utter turnaround. Double kill onto Samwise. They need to be careful though. They have got Shoot Up who's on completely full mana, nearly full mana, and completely full health. He gets shut down. Tundra going to be the next target. They may get something back from this. It's not going to be enough. Shut down there onto Trude up. I forgot his name for a brief second. But in the end, it ends up being a 4 for 4. No one gets Dragon.
I've got to point out exactly what Alchemist did here, because it almost entirely saved Choke's lineup. The Cataclysm came down onto Alchemist. Tundra is about to hit Mega Now form. Watch his Rage Bar. He looks to go in, and there's the Shockwave. Stops him from jumping in and managing to get the Gnar ultimate off. That almost saved the entire back line of Choke there. And Alchemist, really wonderful. Again, a little bit chasing too far from the Choke team, and you saw them get punished for it a little bit later on as we speed up and see Alchemist here likely going down. Goes down to the red buff, and then you see Numlock going down himself too. Yeah,
and Choke really did try and push for those kills, and I really feel like it should have been Shoot Up chasing those, not the really low health bars of Numlock and of Zodiac, but nonetheless they are going to try and go for Dragon again. Shockwave is back available. Zodiac a bit low though, he needs to be a bit careful. They popped down the flag. Everyone's trying to go in. It's going to go down. They're trying to jump in. I think he may have gone a little bit too early. It's going to be a steal. Wow. Syndra gets that one, and Dan is trying to go back in. He flashes. He gets over the wall, and they kill Lasagna. This could be a great fight. They could put down the equalizer. Nothing really happened. They're going to jump on the Shoot Up in the backline. Samwise goes down. Shoot Up goes down, and now they can try to chase this down. FM really going to get Mega Now form in a very quick second. They're going to get it just now. Good Zonya's triple kill. Will it be the Quadra? It won't, because Scumbag Billy Fufu is going to take that one for himself. Sona needs the kills, and that is a great turnaround by FM.
They spent so long right there just tanking Dragon as two members. Lasagna went so low, and they were just waiting. Dan and crew were just waiting. You're going to see it here. Dan's already coming to the pit. Actually, somehow Syndra gets the steal with a Dark Sphere, I think. They go on to Dan, but it's too late at this point. And actually, a very aggressive play from Samwise too. The Cullen comes in from the side. Shoot Up is in no man's land at this point in time. Billy just needs to crescendo, and he goes down on the outside. And then you have a very little damage as Tundra flashes in, and he knows he's going to pick up a kill here onto Numlocked as the Zonya's essentially spells his doom. Yeah,
and if just a little bit, whoa, we are zoomed in very close to that Sona recalling. But they did chase down Alchemist, so they ended up getting another kill on top of that. So Dragon, 5 kills, pretty damn convincingly there for FM, and they are really starting to hot up. Ezreal's got some huge items. He's got the Triforce, he's got the Bork, he's got the stacked up tier of the Muramana, and so many big items are being put. A Frozen Mallet on top of Tundra's Gnar.
Exactly, Frozen Mallet synergizes very well with Gnar's kit. He loves the health, he scales up health, loves the AD, scales up AD, and obviously he loves to chase people down. has that Frozen Mallet passive in the bag. It's not the most gold efficient item in the game, but if you can afford it, it's always useful to pick up. And Tundra, thinking that he can, goes ahead with it and could have big impacts in this fight. It makes his chase potential even more annoying, makes that Gnar even more annoying when he's also attacking you and slowing you with those houses.
Yeah, really different now. We see Baron is definitely on the cards for both these teams. FM trying to get some aggressive wards down, take away any vision from Choke. It's going to be quite difficult. Tundra actually trying to go aggressive on the Zodiac. Just going to throw a house at him to see if he's doing all right. And Alchemist actually gets caught. He needs to be careful. Truth Chaparrals comes out, but he's got the blue build Eldril, he's got the Ionian boots, so that'll be up pretty damn shortly. Not a huge cooldown burn. They're just going to try Siege.
Going to try and siege this one out. Obviously, FM now with the 2 dragons. I think that's going to be putting pressure on Choke, who also have their own 2. This next dragon is going to really be big as well. To be honest, Choke just need to start to make more use and dictate the team fights the way they want as Tundra.
Oh, there we go. Oh, great shockwave though onto 3. They drop the equalizer as well. They get Lasagna though as well. Tundra going to hit Mega Gnar form very shortly. They're going to go. The double kill coming down. Numlock is going to get another one. Ezreal is going to get that kill. They're trying to still go on top of this. Numlock was in complete no man's land. They got the combo. They just couldn't get the positioning.
Again, they're going aggressive and they're getting engaged upon before they can do what they want to with their ultimates. They're not using the shockwaves are always brilliant from Alchemist, but there's no follow-up. You're not getting an equalizer on top of them. The damage just seems very split across the team. And then obviously chewed up way too far up there, immediately locked up by the Jarvan flag and drag combo, and he goes down instantaneously. It's just, I feel Chewed Up needs to be a little bit more passive in his play, because at the moment his positioning is just getting him killed every single time.
Yeah, and it's really not going to help them out now. They are getting to the point now where the gold lead starts to take a huge effect. It's about just under 8,000. They're going to go back now and try get some more the farm. The waves were pushing against FM, so you need to make sure that they're getting those clear. But as you said, the shockwaves and the equalizer combos just haven't been there.
Soraka going towards the Warmogs.
Yes, actually, you're dead right. She is going towards that Warmogs, and it synergizes perfectly, but it's going to be a very long time before she can finish it.
Yeah, she's got a little bit more gold to finish up, but obviously she actually has to sacrifice a percentage health to get her heals up. It's 10% health, I believe, every time you want to heal someone. But Warmogs provides you with a lot of passive health regeneration. You get a 3% per second, and also a 1% per second, depending on whether you haven't taken damage for the last 5 seconds or so. So, you know, if she's out of combat, it will allow her to regenerate a lot of her health more quickly, allow her to get more heals off, and she'll always have that 1% in the bag even when she's in combat.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at items. It looks like Tundra going towards that Thornmail, going to be able to help him out against Shoot Up. See some big items. Randuin's finished up onto FM Dan. So many huge items. Nearly got a finished off Zonya's for Chris, so he's going to be able to do a lot more now for his team when he gets those. Last Whisper finished up to Ezra. He's almost finished off the blue build. Big items on the side of FM, and I feel like Choke just aren't able to deal with it.
Yeah, they're really struggling in terms of global gold too. Everyone on the side of FM are starting to finish some really big items, and just feels like it's ever so lacking on the side of Choke. Obviously, you have 4 items on the mid lane Syndra for Chris, so he's got that Void Staff, and Zonya's up over Alchemist, who has got a pretty decent score in the bag, but you can just see the masses in difference in item thresholds hit by Crusoe at this point. He is an absolutely devastating force this game. And again, Choke, they've got to think about their picks and bans this time round, because Crusoe hasn't been able to play Syndra, but he's brought it out this time, and he's absolutely having an impact with it.
Yeah, and I've seen now FM trying to be a little bit sneaky here. They've got Billy Fufu and the rest of the jungler on the team, but I don't think Choke are going to go for this. They might just actually go for a Baron, and this could be the perfect call. They went for the push. They're trading Baron for possibly Inhibitor. I don't know if this is worth.
It's interesting this time around, because trading Baron for Inhibitor is not as clear-cut as it used to be. They're going to be able to take this Inhibitor fairly easily, but obviously the Baron will be on the cards. And the Ezreal ultimate just missing right there. They're going to lose this Inhibitor for sure. However, should Choke now choose to push down that bot lane, with the Baron minions, it's going to be so much easier for them to push and clear and potentially make their own way through that bot lane and get a return Inhibitor. Because of the way the minions are affected by Baron, it's definitely not as clear-cut as it used to be.
Yeah, definitely not, but there's going to be another Dragon being started off and taken by FM. No vision really at all for Choke. They're going to give that one up. That went down exceptionally quickly. That is FM's 3rd Dragon of the game. So they get 2 turrets, an Inhibitor, and a Dragon for just the Baron. I think FM are going to be pretty happy.
Historically, you like to take bot lane inhibitor because it gives you the pressure on the Baron. Obviously, Baron will be up after that inhibitor has respawned, but it will be a naked inhibitor now, so that'll be something that FM could potentially look to retake and then garner that Baron control that they want to have. Obviously, Choke's probably going to have something to say about that. And with that Baron, they've definitely put themselves on almost a level pedestal in terms of raw stats. You know, you still get the extra AP and AD with that Baron if you just don't get the health regeneration anymore.
Yeah, no health regeneration. It's still a huge buff out to your minions. But with a Syndra, with an Ezreal, people who have got the long range to deal with these minions, it's not going to be hugely impactful, and there's still quite a few turrets left standing on the side of FM. Choke would have to take down quite a bit to even get close to an inhibitor.
They've definitely got a Bastion. Actually, now the way that the Baron minions work, just having a singular member near your wave will really help your clear speed of these empowered super minions that will be coming from the FM side's bot lane. You'll just need Numlock there, and he shouldn't have too much trouble clearing out, especially as the minions will be tanking a lot more damage themselves.
Yeah, but as you said, when you get that bottom inhibitor, it means that they just go straight away to the furthest lane. Normally it's Baron, but because Baron is down, they're just going to go to the furthest away lane. But it looks like Choke are being...
Interesting call here.
Yeah, very interesting call. They're going to try and push this in. This could work. They have no minions as of yet, but there is 5 people barreling down this mid lane. Samwise needs to be a bit careful. He's going to arcane shift over the side. They're going to pick up this inhibitor, this inner tower.
Yeah, they should pick up this inner tower. They put the pressure onto FM as well. They go aggressive here.
They go aggressive. They're trying to get some more, but here comes Dan. He gets a good Cataclysm. Good crescendo as well. Lasagna's going to be the first one. Shockwave only lands onto one. Sona is the first one to go down, as Samwise is ever. There's a good Gnar, great one. Shoot up, gets chewed up himself by the Gnar. They're trying to keep going on top of this. They've got so much kite, they've got so much chase. It's gonna be an ace in favor of FM. They're gonna push down this mid lane, and you imagine it's gonna be Nexus turrets falling.
I feel like Lasagna is just picking fights when he doesn't need to pick them, but they can barrel down this bot lane and take the game. They've got so much time on the board right now and so many members that can do damage to turrets. This should be FM's
super
game.
minions.
They've got the super minions too. This should be FM's game to take. All they're going to need to do is take these Nexus turrets now.
Yeah, and as you say, Lasagna just not picking the right fights at the right time. And even with Baron, as you said, it doesn't give you the health regen. It doesn't give you everything that you really used to get from it. And I think teams are still resorting to that. But that is going to be game 2 going in favor of FM. They even up the series. Very, very convincing win from them.
Yeah, I mean, that was all really to do with how well Dan put pressure down in the bottom lane. Samwise was a massive force on that Ezreal this time, and then Chriso got his Syndra, and he had a fantastic game on it. He was the impact. Alchemist really struggled to have the similar kind of impact that he had on that Xerath. Going to have to think about this going into the next game. They banned away that Xerath, obviously not willing to give it to Chriso. Did give him the Syndra, though, and then the Orianna just didn't quite have the impact that I think he would have wanted it to have. And Choke going to have to go back to the drawing boards because they felt untouchable before this.
They really, really did, and I felt like you're kind of impacting champions. Dan was huge. Dan was absolutely amazing. He was in every single lane, putting down the pressure, and it just was felt far more impactful in all the lanes that he was able to snowball them forward, able to keep them going. And even though they gave up a couple of dragons, they were able to, as we see, push it back, and they made the right calls at the right times. But anyway, guys, that is us for the moment. We're going to send it back to Panky and the guys on the analyst desk.
Thanks a lot, guys. What a great series we have in our hands now. 1 game apiece. It's really starting to open things up. So let's go straight into it. What was different about this game? First thing that struck out to me, Dan had an impact. Rather than being a reactionary player, he was ganking.
Oh yeah, Dan got off some superb ganks. And actually picking up that Jarvan, although it might have been just to deny the wombo combo coming out from Choke with the Orianna, worked out so well for them. They put a lot of pressure down onto that bot lane, which is exactly what we said they needed to do. And they managed to get Ezreal and Sona rolling, get those teleports in from Gnar as well. And that was really what stood out for FM. They had a lot more early game presence than they did in the first game.
Exactly. And the Jarvan, again, Dan is just exceptionally good at playing these early game junglers. He knows how to play them and what to do. He ganks early. Jarvan, an early jungler, you must gank with it. And he really put Lasagna on the spot. Lasagna on his in, another what would consider a early pressure jungler with his ganks. Zin didn't have the impact as Dan did, basically.
Yeah.
So we saw, obviously, because of those ganks, FM's bottom lane got ahead.
Yeah.
They got very, very aggressive because of it, and that was great. But they were doing it into a Soraka, which is normally obviously a very safe, very passive lane because of a sustain. but it's also a bit of an interesting pick. She's coming back with a force,
Yeah.
but Zodiac has some other champions who could have been better.
I was surprised we didn't see as Morgana coming out here. It would have given Choke a little bit more of a pick team-oriented comp. Like, if you get a good binding onto someone into a shockwave, you've got a lot more pressure on that champion, and we didn't quite see that coming out from the Soraka on Zodiac. Also, Soraka is a great champion for healing up if you can stay on the back line, but when we have such aggressive champions, a Gnar and a Jarvan jumping onto you, you're really not able to do a huge amount, and you go down very, very quickly.
With the Soraka pick, I mean, you're only there to really heal. Like, you're just keeping them alive. She offers nothing really apart from her silence, maybe. But I think a better pick would have been a Janna or even a Morg.
Yeah.
I mean, Zodiac's Morg is really good.
Yeah.
And with that spell shield, you can stop all the CC that FM has. FM has Jarvan, has Syndra, Gnar, Sona, Ezreal. All of these champions have some form of AoE damage, and in their wombos, which you see so much in this game, it just destroys Choke. And if you don't have that disengage, for example, a Janna could ult and knock Jarvan away, knock Gnar away, and they can just re-engage, or just think back and be like, should we fight this, should we back off? But with Soraka, it's really hard to do, especially when she's this immobile. And you saw how many ganks Jarvan came to bot lane, and they just caught the Soraka because she can't run away.
So we